because it has got a huge bearing on your testimony. I just want to be frank with you. It does have. The proceedings of the 29th of August 2024, when I also was cross-examining him, it starts on page 49. Paragraph 10, it's him, Mr. Mangena. He says, I started with the FMJs. I compared the FMJs and then I put them. I cannot recall whether I also did with the same exercise with the other bullets. But I continued, when I start to continue, I took my exhibit bullet and put them on the left-hand side and started comparing it with all those other exhibits that I had with me. Thank you, sir. And then Mr. Mnisi says to Mr. Mangena, yes, so you say you still cannot recall exactly what you did. Mr. Mangena says, that is correct. My Lord, he says, that is correct, my Lord, because the whole exercise did not take an hour or 2 hours. It take days, because I started working after collecting the firearm, which we now know it was on the 20th. After shooting the test, then Tuesday, Wednesday, I was busy on the microscope with all those exhibits. I cannot remember, but my report, I started compiling my report on Friday. Mr. Mnisi, yes. Now with the addendum to your answer, should I then understand you to mean that at some stage, you were tired working on this exercise or on this experiment, on this examination? It took you almost a week. So it drained you. Do I understand you to mean that, Mr. Mangena, my Lord, when I'm working on the microscope, once I feel that my eyes are tired, I've been working on the microscope for a long time, my eyes are tired, you'll start missing some of the markings, so I will rather stop and then I will continue. I will continue. It is either the next morning or when I maybe after a long break and I can start working on it. So that is why I said it did not take me a day, it took me a long time. Then Mr. Mnisi, thank you. I quite agree with you on that one. Some other things can be very draining. But then, are you then saying that the nature of this exercise, the comparison, was it a tedious and a difficult one? So which is the reason why it took you so many days? Mr. Mangena says, my Lord, with such exhibits from such a bullet that has worn out, it takes time for you to look at these things and it takes time for you to see all your markings properly. Mr. Mnisi, now with that explanation, say, would it then be correct to say that it was not an easy exercise? It was a difficult exercise because you had to go into the system and compare, come out of the system, go back and compare it. It was not really a simple exercise. It was a tedious exercise. Do I understand you to mean that? Then Mr. Mangena says, my Lord, I will say as long as you started, you have identified maybe the groups that are visible, that you can see on your exhibits. When you start with those other tests, you can check your tests, you keep on marking them. Maybe after some time, you know which mark bullet you have marked. You start looking at them, then you can, from there, you start doing the follow-up when you say it is a follow-up. You start rotating them simultaneously, looking at the relevant same position on both items for more marks. Mr. Mnisi, yes. Mr. Mangena, to clear up, it is not that it took me the whole week to do that. I've checked that and thereafter, I gave it to my colleagues to check. So they also took some time, but I will not say not as much time as I took. Let's stop it there.
And the reading of the word today is from the book of Mangena. and it is chapter... Oh my goodness. Mnisi is hilarious without even trying. Okay. He said, "Hello, everybody. We are reading from the book of Mangena, Mangena's testimony dated as such and such a date. And we are going to read together. Okay. And hear how Mangena tells us how much of a difficult job this was. It was so difficult that it took him several days, and not just several days, many days. Why so many days? Because it was hard work, very hard work, okay? Making the striations and the markings match and the ditches. You guys remember that? You know, Mnisi and Mangena, they went back and forth a long time. So Mnisi is not wrong in quoting him, okay? Because guess what? He let Captain Ntini go on. And he told him, keep that in your mind. I'll come back to you because you are just here to validate the state story. Captain Ntini didn't listen. He continued with his validation, whatever he had prepped, allegedly, okay? And then when they got to this part, the part where Mangena says it lasted for about a week. Anybody who had any sense can see this is the point where the state missed the mark. Because, surprise, surprise, the affidavits are dated the 22nd of July 2020. Mangena said he started on the 20th of July 2020, and it took him almost a week. And he can only go to the verifier once he is done. Even Captain Ntini confirmed this, and he said it with such arrogance and pride that you can only do it once you are done. Mnisi read it aloud. The funniest part of it all, this is my most favorite Mnisi moment, is the fact that he's reading his own words in third party. And he's still hilarious about it. Even reading back to us, he is still highly hilarious. Mnisi is brilliant, okay? And I think he's got that je ne sais quoi, okay? He's got that added advantage in that he has been a prosecutor and is now a criminal advocate. This is impressive. And he even says, listen, interpreter, you're going to have to wait this one out, okay? I'll give you my paper after, because, you know, it's not going to flow. And you know what, Mnisi? We, the people, we appreciate that. We appreciate that because, oh my God, it was going to drag. The jokes were not going to land as well because it was just going to be choppy. And Mr. Interpreter said you got to read it one sentence at a time. Oh my goodness, we would have missed the point. But you know what? I digress. Let's get back into it and see how Mnisi ends Ntini, okay? Sends him off he arrived as an expert, ballistic expert. He is leaving as a ballistic opinioner, okay? He's just there to give an opinion, because with opinions, you write nothing down. Crazy business to me.
Thank you. Now, it is beyond reproach that Lieutenant Colonel Mangena is more experienced than you, not so?
That is correct, my lord.
And you heard when he told to this court that for him to do this thing, it did not take him a day or two. It took him long, such that he started to work on his affidavit on a Friday when he had started with the analysis on a Monday. Do you follow?
I'm following, my lord.
Now, Mr. Mangena, with such massive experience on ballistic related matters, took almost a week to come to the conclusion that he arrived at. And it only takes you a time that you are no longer able to remember, but something that is less than a day to come to your conclusion. Is there any logical explanation for it?
My lord, I've heard what the advocate was reading there, and it contains a lot of things like typing of statements. I've only done part of which was just to give an opinion with regard to a microscopic comparison. Then my duty ended there. The advocate has mentioned the chief examiner, who will be doing everything. I don't know when did he do what, but from your reading, I heard you spoke about the typing of affidavit. Those are some of the duties that he has done as chief examiner, as they belong to him, as those are his responsibilities.
Sir, please don't try to sway things that I've said. Mr. Mangena says he only started to compile his report on a Friday when he started to work on this experiment on a Monday, which was the 20th. Do you understand? Do you understand?
I understand that.
Thank you. And let me specifically bring you to what is important, what he specifically says. This is what he says. My Lord, because the whole exercise did not take an hour or 2 hours. It took days because I started working after collecting the firearm. After the shooting, the test, then on Tuesday, on Wednesday, I was busy on the microscope with all those exhibits. On Tuesday, on Wednesday, I was busy on the microscope with all those exhibits. Now, when we look into the calendar of 2020, July 2020, the 20th was on a Monday. The 21st was on a Tuesday. The 22nd, the day on which you say he approached you for an opinion, was on a Wednesday. Do you follow? Do you follow?
I'm following, my Lord.
Thank you. Yes. After shooting the test, then on Tuesday, Wednesday, I was busy on the microscope with all those exhibits. In other words, say, you are saying that Mr. Mangena approached you on a Wednesday when he was still busy on the microscope. And you had told this court that an expert can only approach another expert from the opinion once they are done with the work that they are doing. Not so. Not so.
I'm following, my Lord.
Mr. Mangena is very pertinent. It's very clear. It does not need any particular expertise to understand what Mr. Mangena is saying. On a Tuesday and a Wednesday, I was still busy on the microscope with all those exhibits. In other words, it was not yet done. And yet, he comes to you for an opinion. How do you explain that?
We object to this line of questioning. It's quite clear from what Mr. Advocate Mnisi said. There is no time in which Colonel Mangena said he finished working on the exhibits on Wednesday. So it would be unfair for this witness to also comment into that.
There is nothing unfair here, my Lord. Everything comes from Mr. Mangena's testimony. He says, I started compiling my report on a Friday. What is not clear about that? He says on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, I was busy on the microscope with all those exhibits. I'm not thumbsucking, this information is not there. What it is unfair with that? Can you please answer the question? How do you reconcile that?
My Lord,
yourself, yes.
My Lord, I cannot comment on that one.
Thank you. I got no comment. And I can put it to you, say, normally I'm not a fan of trying to postulate the reason why a person cannot comment on a particular answer. But in instances such as this one, I'm more than justified to say that you have been requested here to come in, and this is the second reason. Mind you, I told you earlier on that the first reason why you had come here to come and validate. Yes, I haven't forgotten this time. To come and validate the state's narrative was that first reason. This is the second reason. Unfortunately, your validation, your attempt to validate the state's attempt to create a certain narrative of the use of a firearm in this case missed Mr. Mangena's testimony in this regard. I therefore feel justified, sir, to brand you as a hired gun. You standing there as a hired gun. You don't know what you did. You're forgetting everything that you did as an expert. I'm even not so sure whether, as you standing there, particularly in this case, you came here as an expert or as an opinion giver. Now, Mr. Mangena approaches you even before he could complete his work on the 22nd. What should the court make of all these inexplicable circumstances of this case that you have come to testify about?
I think this is a great time for us to pause and reflect on Mnisi Wemvula thunderstorm. Oh my goodness, that was a great display of advocacy, if that is even a word. He said, I told you we're going to walk to the river together, and I told you you will drink from the river, okay? Because, hello, did you hear that excruciating silence? Mnisi waited for a response. Ntini said, I can't even remember how to respond to questions at this point. I cannot recall. Until the interpreter jumped in to break that ice. Silence, because you could almost hear a pin drop in Judge Ratta's courtroom. Silence from Baloy, silence from Sibanda, silence from the judge himself. But even worse was when Sibanda stood up and said, I object to this question, it is unfair. And Mnisi told him there is nothing unfair here, and proceeded with where he left off and says to Ntini, can you answer the question? And Ntini says, there's no damn way, okay? I cannot comment on this. Are you trying to get me impeached? I will not respond because you have done the math and 1 + 1 is 11, okay? And I stand by it. How dare Baloy put me in this predicament and then they mess up the dates. Allegedly. That's how I think it's going in Ntini's head right now. How is he going to get himself out of this? Will he be able to get himself out of this? This is Mnisi reading from the book of Mangena, okay? Mangena as he's doing the ballistic testing on day 1 all the way up to verse day 5, okay? On a Friday with the calendar exposing that there is no way that Ntini is saying Mangena was done on a Wednesday when Mangena himself in the book of Mangena says he was done on a Friday. Oh my God, this is breaking news, Mzansi. Ntini has been caught in the lie. Wow. Should I say allegedly? But we all heard it. Okay then, we'll drop a allegedly nyana and done over here. Insert it here.
I will stand up again and object to the use of the phrase a hired gun to the witness. My understanding of a hired gun is someone who's been paid to come and say something, and I submit, my lord, it's improper for Advocate Mnisi to use such to the witness.
Do you know the Judge Dennis Davis? The one who says, judge for yourself on TV.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a buddy of mine. He used that weight in a particular judgment. I need to tell you the judgment.
Yes, the court, please.
As it please the court, madam, thank you. I'm not so sure whether the court is coming to my risk, but there is nothing wrong in referring to an expert as a hired gun. It's all over the show. You go to authorities, law reports that are dealing with road traffic, what is it now? Road accident fund cases, medical negligence cases. This phrase, hired gun, is referred to there very extensively. So it's not an insult. Don't feel insulted.
No, I'm just trying to explain to the witness that the person who first used this word in South Africa,
Yes.
in a divorce case,
Yes, madam.
was Dennis Davis.
That is
1994.
yes,
It's a reported case.
yes, madam. Yeah.
You know that case, Mr.
I,
Not particularly, but the context.
Yeah, fine.
Something.
Yeah, it was the first guy who
as it please the court, madam. So say, when I say to you a hired gun, I just don't say it out of nowhere. I'm saying it, basing it on what, as I try to compare and contrast your testimony here at court. You said you've got no comment, not so?
But I can only say I'm not supporting any narrative.
Okay.
Thank you. Now, finally,
Can I just finalize?
as I look at your affidavit on paragraph 3 of your affidavit, and paragraph 3 of Captain Grobler's affidavit, they are twins, the content thereof, from paragraph 3 to paragraph 5, which is the gist of your affidavit. The contents thereof are similar. They are basically two peas in a pond.
Umbiko ka-Captain Grobler, paragraph 3, nombiko wakho, paragraph 3. Bona sengathi le mbiko lena lama paragraph la, so paragraph 3 kuyofika paragraph 5 ifana ncimishi.
The content thereof, the wording, the punctuation, the spelling, and everything is just similar. Could that have been a coincidence?
A lot from my office, there is a standard way of writing an affidavit. Other things such as the caliber and the markings, my lord, you cannot change.
You heard me. I said even the punctuation and the spelling and the phrasing of the words. Could that have been a coincidence? Or you use the same computer to prepare paragraph 3 to paragraph 4 of your statement? Of yourself, Grobler, and yourself.
My lord, we didn't use the same computer. Hence, I'm saying we are having a standard way of drafting an affidavit, my lord.
Nendlela ebekiwe yokuthi sibhale i-affidavit.
Thank you, sir. The standard way of drafting a affidavit. Thank you. Got no further questions.
Yes.
That will be all for me, my lord. Thank you, my lord.
What time is it now?
Quarter to 4, my lord.
Is this the end of this witness? Mr. Normal. You want to cross-examine this witness?
I don't I bring it to the attention of the court that I would have no cross-examination to this
Yeah, you
witness.
did. And Mr. Cholona? Okay, so that is the end of this witness's evidence. Except you want to re-examine him, I don't know.
Can I change it tomorrow, my lord?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't even know where to start with my commentary because you know what? So it's going to be jumbled up. Okay, it's going to be jumbled up. It's going to be all over the place. I am disappointed with Mnisi. No, I'm disappointed with Ngumalo and Advocate Umshololo for my own personal reasons. I don't get to hear them drag, okay, Captain Ntini for filth. He's already 24 feet under. I'm not even sure how they got him out of the courthouse after what Mnisi did to him. Mnisi literally told him, you are a hired gun. He failed to have a comeback after that. Sibanda said, let me try rescue the man. This is our state witness. You cannot talk to them like that. And Mnisi said, please, this is the English language. Get out of here. This is a common word. It is not an insult. Judge Rata wants to tell us the story of another friend of his. Mnisi says, stop it. I'm on a roll. I am on a roll. I will not let you derail me. Hold the line with that Dennis Davis story. Let's continue, Ntini. Okay. Your affidavit is a twin. Okay. It has a twin sister. It looks identical. It's not the Irish twins. No. It's actual identical twins. It's like two peas in a pod with the affidavit of Captain Grobler. Okay, Captain Grobler. Oh my goodness. Mnisi. Wow. And he calls it two peas in a pod. Okay. The wording, the punctuation. Is it a coincidence? And Ntini comes with some weak answer. And Mnisi goes, I will say it again. Okay. Because clearly you didn't hear me the first time. Ntini fails to respond. And Mnisi says, that's the end of my cross-examination. Oh my God. Nisi, you couldn't even ask him another question just to get his inhlizio down a little bit, okay? His BP level. No. Nisi leaves him done, okay? Done for the day. Mic drop. But let me tell you something from my end. That was so satisfying all the way round. We appreciate you, Judge Rata, for not descending into the arena because, wow, there was a time I thought, oh my God, you did not call a friend of the court a hired gun. Oh my goodness. Wow. And the fact that Baloyi had no comebacks. Baloyi didn't even want to re-examine this witness. Baloyi said, listen, we're done. Okay, let's just do this tomorrow. When did Baloyi start speaking in his teeth? Where are Baloyi's books? Where is Baloyi's statement my learned friend, I think, was trying to say? Not with Mnisi. He does not play that game with Mnisi. This was brilliant. Well done, Advocate Mnisi. Well done. This has been Mnisi week from the start. Okay, it's only been 2 days. Yes. We don't want to make the same mistake as the state and start saying the days when they're not matching. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far in the video, thanks for watching all the ads. I really appreciate it. Okay, keeps the lights on. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. I see all the comments. I've put out a lot of videos today. I hope you appreciate it. Drop a justice for SENZO MEYIWA down below because guess who's coming tomorrow? Geninda. Well, at the time you watch this, it will probably be tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on my next upload.
You haven't seen a standard affidavit in a ballistic manual.
In this instance, it's very suspicious.
You have seen one. I can show you one.
Thank you, my lord.
Okay, let's adjourn until tomorrow at 10. Are you available, sir, tomorrow?
That is correct, my lord. I'm available.
Yeah. All right.